and gentlemen, and welcome to the very first points race of the Southwest NASCAR Sim Series Season 2. It's the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. Alongside me today is Cole McElmoyle, or Builder, and we may see some other friends of ours soon, but let's get right into it. First race of the season, first, and so, new roster, and first time that we will see this group of drivers, all 42 of them, to be precise, racing for points.
Should be a great race. We're ready to get this season kicked off and it's been a long off season. We realized today that it's actually been 3 months. Did you say to the day?
Yes,
from the Homestead race?
3 months. The Homestead race, to be exact, was September 8th, 2019. Today's date, December 8th, 2019.
Exactly. So we're ready to get this season kicked off, baby. Let's go.
And we've been waiting for a long time this off season. We've got 42 cars, and there's more paint schemes to be created, but we've got plenty of paint schemes, to say the least. Just gonna pull the stream up on my iPad real quick, and we'll get into this thing. We do not have any qualifying to do today because qualifying was actually taken care of last Tuesday for the pole, and then on Friday to set the starting order. And so you may recognize the starting order because it was the finishing order of the Daytona duels if you chose to watch them. So, yes, Chip Ganassi, you will be starting in 4th because Alexander Rossi has the pole, or has the front row. He's going to be starting in position number 2.
Yeah, so essentially how this is working is the pole sitter, or what was it? I think it's the top 2 in Daytona 500 qualifying. They were set as the top 2 for the Daytona 500, and then the duel set 3rd through last place for the actual Daytona 500.
You would be 100% correct in that. So the front row is going to be the 28 and the 9. And then we'll find out, we'll rediscover what the rest of the field is when we get forward to the race. But here's the final practice session for the 500.
The 83 of Niall O'Hare taking absolutely no time to get out on the racetrack. He's the first car out there. I don't know if he's just not confident in his car, or maybe he just thinks it's a little bit too tight and he just wants to get out there for a practice session just to feed that last little tidbit of information to his team before we're ready to go racing in this thing.
And one other thing, this is going to be a really long race. 100 laps, 250 miles. But we still call it the 500 because it's our version of the Daytona 500, and we like having the full name. There's Cole McElmoyle coming out onto the racetrack for his race team.
61 had a decent duel. Finished about 7th or 8th in his duel, respectively. But it's a 16th, maybe 15th, or 16th, maybe 14th starting spot. So he's gonna try to find his way through the field today.
He had a pretty good season overall last time around the schedule as well, getting a couple of poles and a win, I believe, at none other than Chicagoland, which just so happens to be his favorite racetrack, although his home track this season, last season it was Toronto, but this season it's going to be Peterborough. And more on that when we get to Peterborough.
Peterborough is going to be one heck of a race. That thing is 1/3 of a mile. It's a tiny racetrack. It's going to be the shortest racetrack we go to this season. And let's just say maybe not all 42, maybe 43 cars are going to start
Well,
that race.
there's only going to be 19 cars starting that event.
Yep.
Just past the halfway point. What? Okay. Just past the halfway point of practice, or final practice. And right now that 24 car showing some speed, that would be none other than Thomas Cassidy. And he's definitely wanting to get things kicked off and ready to go for today's Daytona 500. Now another interesting driver to note is this number 4 car. He's 2 for 4 when it comes to Daytona races. He won the Clash and he won last season's 500. The question is, will he win his second Daytona 500, or will we get another, or will we get a first-time winner at this racetrack? We'll find out in just about a minute. And speaking of fast cars, that 4 showing he's definitely got some speed. Currently with the fastest time on the racetrack. And then after that, well, when we get to the end of this practice session, we'll set up the grid for the start of this race and get this thing underway. A couple of good cars throughout this Speed Weeks have kind of shown themselves. We saw that 51 dominate the second duel he started last and he made his way all the way up through, had a pretty good run there, and then in the second duel, Closer Light Yagami put on a show. Wasn't until later in the race when cars started to get around him, but cars did get around him, and the winner of that first duel was Tim Gary. Will start in position number 3. 20 seconds to go in this practice session.
Shall we talk about the new playoff format?
Well, I'll let you have that honor.
Well, so essentially, last year, as we all know, we just ran the basic 2003 playoff format. Most points won the championship. Plain and simple, easy format, easy to take care of. You know, nothing exciting. Well, this year, we have changed it up completely. We're bringing in the 2019 MENCS, or now not just NASCAR Cup Series, playoffs format. Win and you're in, baby. It's going to be very exciting at the end of the races. Drivers are going to take chances trying to secure their spot into the playoffs. It's going to be really important to get your car up front and get those extra playoff points when you win the races.
Well, the way that this season's going to work, winning you're in is in the playoffs. Regular season, you must get in based solely off of points. And I don't know if we decided to do playoff points or not, but what I do know is that it's 5 bonus points towards the regular season standings for winning a race, and then 10 points for leading it's 5 points for leading a lap, 10 points for leading the most laps. And that is added on to the amount of points that you already get for completing the race. But let's go through our starting order. Let's go through the starting order. On the pole for today's race, as seen on Tuesday, the number 28 Stash Motorsports Napa Brakes Ford Mustang of Light Yagami. Rolling off in P2 will be the number 9 of Alexander Rossi in the Napa Auto Parts Toyota Camry for Team Cassidy Racing. Or for Cassidy Team Racing, rather. Rolling off in third is Tim Gary for Avery Motorsports in his Ford Mustang that he drove to victory lane in the first duel. And to his outside will be the 79 of Chip Ganassi for Black Cat Racing in the Coca-Cola Ford Mustang. That's Chip Ganassi. Then rolling off in fifth is the Season 1 Daytona 500 winner and Clash winner, Muse Better, in the Southwest Airlines Toyota Camry. Starting for DNP Racing. Starting in sixth is Payson Avery in the WeatherTech Ford Mustang for Avery Motorsports. Rolling off in seventh is the Coca-Cola Exhibition winner. That's Nathan Orman in the number 95 Autism Speaks Chevrolet Camaro. Rolling off in eighth in row 4, the 18 of Flashy McClashy, the Southwest Airlines Toyota Camry for DNP Racing. Rolling off in ninth will be Joey Maddox in the Oreo Chevrolet Camaro. Rolling off in 10th is the 25 of David Don in the Nationwide Ford Mustang for Stash Motorsports. And then Emily Winters gonna start in 11th in the NASA Ford Mustang for Avery Motorsports. And then Matthew Nile gonna start right behind his teammate in his number 26 Kmart Stash Motorsports Ford Mustang. Starting in 13th, is Ben Pierce in probably in the position that he would have picked, right behind his teammate Emily Winters, in his number 15 Red Bull Ford Mustang. Rolling off 14th, the 10 of Brandon Del Pino in the Credit One Bank Cassidy Team Racing Toyota Camry. Starting in 15th is Cole McLemore in the TD Bank Ford Mustang for Builder Motorsports. And then starting to his outside in 16th is the 33 ISM Connect Chevrolet Camaro of Kenneth Laura. Rolling off in 17th is the 60 of Racing Pimentel in the Doritos Chevrolet Camaro. Starting in 18th is the 8 of DNP_10 in the Geico Toyota Camry for DNP Racing. Starting in 19th to round out row 20 is the 56 of Cody Goforth for Builder Motorsports. And then the 78 of Ad starts in 20th for DNP Racing in that Furniture Row Toyota Camry. Rolling off in position number 21 is the 44 of Damian Fenton in the Advanced Auto Parts Chevrolet Camaro for Niche Motorsports. Starting in 22nd is the 20 of
Kevin Bassard.
Yeah, Kevin Bassard in the Switch Toyota Camry for Cassidy Team Racing. Starting 23rd is the defending champion, Coaster Enthusiast, who dominated last season with good finishes, second places, first places, 2 wins, couple of good races that just didn't work out for him, but he starts 23rd in the number 69 Six Flags Entertainment Corporation Ford Mustang for Black Cat Racing. Starting in position number 24 is the 6 of Pipestone Lazard. That car is unsponsored, but that's a pretty cool paint scheme if I don't say so myself. Starting in 25th is the 59 of Sam Blaney in the Coors Light Ford Mustang for Black Cat Racing. And then next to him is Winterwolf in the Pennzoil number 21 Ford Mustang for Builder Motorsports. 27th will be the 27 of Carter Boyd, bearing the nationwide Children's Hospital's name for Stash Motorsports in that Ford Mustang. And then Andy Cooley rolling off in 28th, and that's the U.S. Marines Ford Mustang. Starting 29th is the 3 of Brian Anders, the Castrol Chevrolet Camaro. Rolling off in 30th is Alexander McSpeed in the 00 Tide Pods Chevy Camaro. Starting 31st is the 38 of Jacoby Kingston in the Magnum Chocolate Chevrolet Camaro for Niche Motorsports. And to his outside, the 89 of Aiden Smith in the Popeyes Ford Mustang for Black Cat Racing. Then Thomas Cassidy for Cassidy Team Racing starts in 33rd in his NOS Toyota Camry. To his outside, Matt Wynn in the number 13 Turtle Beach Chevy Camaro. Starting in 34th, I believe, is the 7 of Jimmy Johnson, the Auto Owners Toyota Camry for Furniture Row. And then starting to his outside is Esko Laukkanen in the 92 Business Tampere Toyota Camry. Starting in 35th is the 12 of Parker, the John Deere Ford Mustang for Builder Motorsports. 36th will be the 83 of Niall O'Hare in that unsponsored Chevy Camaro. 37th, the 22 of Carlos Tavares, the Car Shield Chevy Camaro. And oh, by the way, the other half of the spotter's nightmare, his teammate James Youngman, gonna start right next to him in what is actually 40th. I somehow started to miscount, but don't worry, all 42 are in here. Then starting in 41st is the 19 of Matthew McCarthy, one of the 2 cars along with Carlos Tavares that wrecked in the duels. And rounding out the field is Max Weisner in 42nd in the Goodwrench Chevy Camaro. Well, it's going to be a long race, but it's going to be a fun one.
Start your engines.
Command has been given. Drivers going to go ahead and fire them up here for the first race of Season 2. And we've already got problems. Well, so much for qualifying, Light Yagami.
Oh my goodness, Light Yagami's just blown up.
And that will give the pole to Tim Gary.
Oh my goodness. They pulled the Jimmy Johnson at Dover. They pulled the Jimmy Johnson. What disappointment for that 2018.
That's probably the earliest championship implications that we've ever had to call. But Light Yagami is not going to finish this race. And so that's going to be 0 points for him.
Oh my, he didn't even get to start the race, let alone finish it.
Because that's something else that's going to be new this season. If you don't finish the race, you get a grand total of 0 points.
What disappointment from that. And now they're going through the grass. Light's pissed. Light is upset.
Well,
He's going
at this
through
point,
the
Light
grass.
doesn't really care about what happens to that race car.
Oh, he is so upset right now. He is yelling at his team over the radio.
He could be leading the field to the green flag right now, but Tim Gary's going to have the honors of doing that because clearly Stash Motorsports, I wonder if there was some talk in some of the exhibition races about engines getting bought off of some Chinese dude that were leading to wrecks and stuff at Coca-Cola in Talladega in the off season, but maybe Stash Motorsports having to do a little bit of talking after the race. And oh my goodness, the 44!
David Fenton.
Damian Fenton gonna drop to the inside. This doesn't look like an engine problem.
28's out with the camshaft problem. But Damon Fenton's, he's just almost stopped on the racetrack.
I don't know that he's gonna make it back to pit road.
I don't think he's gonna make it around the corner. That car is done.
He's gonna have to tow it.
Stuck. That is unbelievable.
And he will tow it.
So we head back up to the leaders here.
That splits up the field.
Oh my goodness. Problems early on from Daytona. So we got the pack up at the front, but that's unbelievable. Tim Gary has just taken the lead with Muse Better pushing him in second as the 95 of Nathan Orman pulls in behind in third. Followed by Alexander Rossi on the outside and the 54 of Joey Maddox. Top
well,
five.
And we knew that the 4 was going to be pretty fast this speed weeks because, well, he won the Flash and he also won final practice. Not that anybody watches that, but this 4 car definitely is showing some speed. And by the way, wouldn't he love to get to go 2 for 2 at 500?
Absolutely. I mean, that 4 car is always fast on these restrictor plates. He just has a certain love for these high-speed, high-intensity restrictor plate tracks, and he's always good. He's always up front, so keep an eye out for Muse Better here.
The high-risk, high-reward situations present themselves here at these super speedway races, and there's 2 drivers who know what it's like to win a full field of, well, a full 30 car anyway, race of drivers at a plate track, and that would be the number 4 who's better, who won the Daytona 500 last season, who's kind of falling back now as the 95 takes the lead, but the other driver who knows how to win a plate race is this Geico car back here. He won, get this, the Geico 500 last season at Talladega.
How funny is that? Heat car with the sponsor of Geico within the Geico sponsored race. I'm just kidding, using the Southwest car that race, but hashtag rig, hashtag rig. 3 wide.
I was in the steam car in that race.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, steam car, but man, we almost had 3 wide there. That 60 of Grayson Pimentel just kind of came out of nowhere, got under the 61 of Cole McElmoyle. Now that 61's fallen back, and that 60 is 4th in the line on the inside.
Look at this, the 61 cut on the outside, 3 wide.
He's going to fall all the way to the back of this pack. Yep, now he's going high, and the 5 of Pacing 8. Now the 4 of Muse Better stuck on the outside with him. 3 wide.
Down the back stretch.
The 5 of Pacing 8 is going to try to get under that 61 car. There's still 3 wide all the way down the back.
This is the very first race that we've run this season. Well, first points race with 40 cars. So these drivers have no idea how the craft is going to work with these 40 cars, just because they haven't had a field this large yet this season with a restrictor plate. And then the other interesting thing to note is even the experienced drivers like a Muse Better, like a DNP_10, or even like this 15 of Ben Pierce, they've never run a race with 40 drivers for points, so they have no idea how aggressive the field is going to be come the end of the race and how many cars could pile up.
It seems like everything got situated. The 4 of Muse Better found a home in the outside line, as did the 61 of McElmoyle. No more 3 wide. No one's gone right to the back of the pack. Chip Ganassi, although he did get up past that 61. Looks like we got 3 wide almost again, but Andy Cooley finds a home on the bottom lane there as the 15 of Ben Pierce takes the lead away from the 95 of Nathan Ormond up front.
Well, and Nathan Ormond got shuffled to the outside.
There's the 9 of Alexander Rossi, sorry.
Well,
and there's the 60 of Pimentel.
Nathan Ormond had the lead of the race, but he got shuffled to the outside. And let me tell you something about this racetrack. Fastest line is pretty much always the way to go, and the fastest line here the inside simply because there's almost always more cars in the bottom lane. So that bottom lane definitely moving faster than the outside. And so if you get shuffled to the outside lane, you will likely find yourself going pretty far back unless you can find a hole on the inside lane. Well,
The 44, Damon Fenton.
the 44 had some damage earlier in this race, but he's brought it back out onto the racetrack after that tow job. So he's going to rejoin the pack here, but will be just behind it. We'll see if he's able to keep pace though. Because if he's able to keep pace, then he might still have a very slim opportunity at winning this thing, but still have a shot at it, or at least it won't interfere too badly with the race for the win when the leaders inevitably catch him.
Seems pretty far off pace. I don't know. Let's see. It's going 193. That's not
He's
bad.
193 and he's not in the draft, so
Yeah, he might be on pace.
might have been a tire issue.
It might have been.
If
Yeah.
it was a tire issue, then all he had to do was come out pit road, get 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles, and
Yeah.
get back out on the racetrack.
You
We're
just
pretty
gotta,
wide.
you just gotta wonder how that 2018 messed up so badly. Because you'd think, especially trying to enter the Daytona 500, that you'd be checking absolutely everything to make sure your car can win this race. And just a silly slip up like that, and you don't even get to start this race, and you're on pole.
And you almost wonder if there wasn't any foul play after the duels, because Light Yagami did so well in the duels, he finished second. All of a sudden on the pole for... Like, you don't even get to start this race that you qualified first, not second in the duels for. Like, you gotta be scratching your head.
It's just
on
a
that
shame
one.
for that 2018. They'd such a fast race car after such a horrific, especially in Speed Weeks, had such a fast race car, was competitive all week long, and after such a disappointing season, it looked like they were about to start off this season, with a high note, and immediately the voodoo from last season transfers over to this season. He doesn't even get to start this race after qualifying on pole.
Light Yagami never qualified, he never earned a pole, and he never won a race last season. Gonna pull up the points from last year right now, see where he finished last season, because it's definitely gotta be a bad feeling for that team. Taking a look at it right now, looking for the number 10. Light Yagami finished in 21st with 2,221 points. And boy, howdy would he have loved to get a good set of points from Daytona, but obviously with the camshaft issue, he's going to be out of this race and not even have a shot at winning it.
He switched rides. He was he a Dodge or a Chevy last
He was a
season?
Toyota last season.
Or he was a Toyota, that's right, I forgot. Yeah, he was a Toyota last season. So he switched manufacturers, joined Stash, hoping that, new ride, new luck maybe for him. Have maybe string together a couple top fives and immediately back to the same luck he was having last season.
And now the other thing that you gotta wonder, if you're a Ford, and especially if you're at Stash Motorsports, you have the same issue.
Oh, absolutely. If you're the 26 car or the 25 even, you're definitely shaking in your pants because you don't know if that camshaft's going to go. It could go at any moment. Your teammate didn't even get to start this race. You're just worried that you're not even going to get to finish it.
And that the very first Stash Motorsports car, currently in the highest running Stash Motorsports car currently is, well, if I can find it, highest running Stash Motorsports car is the 27.
Cardboard? They're all in the back half of the field, and one of their cars is already out. Not a good start to the season, as we see the 88 of Emily Winters dive to the inside for the race to lead on Ben Pierce. He held that lead for quite a long time, but Emily and Tim Gary, both for Avery Motorsports, got tired of following him. Actually, they're all teammates, but they just got tired.
Three of the top 5 are Avery Motorsports cars. Right now, if the race would end now, which obviously it won't because we haven't reached the halfway point, which is the that's the point of no return. If the race were to end now, all 3 of them would have on the podium. But as we saw there, Alexander McSpeed, one of the independent drivers, who you got to be wondering who his friends are, trying to dig into this Ford top 3, make something work for Chevy.
We've been seeing it even in real life. Chevy's really been struggling, but as you can see right now, Ford, Chevy, and then Toyota, Ford, like a lot of blue ovals out there, man. The Fords might be taking this race over.
Well, 100 laps is the amount that we are running today. I can't remember if it's 2 times a wear or if it's still 1 times. I think it's 1 times, but we will find out. If it's 2 times, they will be pinning soon, around 18 to 20. If it's 1 times, then it'll be 36 to 40. But that's something else you got to be talking about, is who you're going to come down to pit road with and how easily are you going to get on a pit road. Might you lock out the brakes and cause some sort of accident coming to pit road?
Very possible, especially at this racetrack. There's a lot of instances where people don't get slowed up as much as the car ahead of them, and they end up hitting one another. There's a lot of cautions that can be caused when coming into pit road, so these drivers are definitely going to have to worry, especially the ones up front, like the 88 of Emily Winters or the 59 of Sam Blaney. They just got to get worried, they got to be worried about not getting run over coming into pit road, and not so much trying to make pit road speed.
And also, and the other thing too is you got to have friends.
Oh, absolutely.
You must have friends coming to pit road. Otherwise, you're going to be losing time when you get back out onto the racetrack without a drafting partner. The draft is so huge at these restrictor plate tracks, at these super speedway races, just because, as you saw, this 88 top speed at 202, this 44 is only going 194, and yes, there may be an issue with that race car, but there's only so much speed that he loses because of damage. He's a good maybe 10 miles an hour slower than the rest of the field right now, and that's because he's outside of the draft.
Another thing you got to worry about too is even getting a good pit stop. If you get a great, obviously if you're trying to get a good pit stop, that's always important. You always want to get a really good pit stop. But think about it, if you get a pit stop that's too good and you come out too far ahead of everyone else, then everyone else is going to have the draft, and they could blow right by you, and you can still lose that draft. You know, so it's just going to be really important that these pickers get a perfect pit stop, and they come in with partners and come out with partners. That could lose you a Daytona 500 if you don't have Danza partners.
And that's another thing that affects pit stop times is how many tires you take. Do you take 4, 2, or none? Because the more steps that pit stop takes, the more opportunity there is for mistake. And also, if you take 4 tires and the other cars in your group take 2 or none, that's a good amount of time that you just lost to them. Here comes Matt Wynn up the inside, and yes, winning puns will continue this season. Matt Wynn trying to win here at Daytona.
It'll only continue if he actually wins a race this season. Now we get to see those cars that started towards the back getting back up here at the front. 92 Vesco Lokinen, although he went high and he's going to lose some spots, he started way in the back of the pack and now making it up there. same with the 33 of Kenneth Laura. He started mid-pack to the back of the pack, and now he's up there. What do you think about those cars?
By the way, don't count your defending champion out. He's gonna drop to the
Here he
inside,
comes.
and he's got help from his teammate Sam Blaney. He'll have the lead.
And there's those big losers. There's the 6 of Pipestone Lazard. He was in the back 3 of rows, and here he is running 5th or 6th. Top 3 or top 3 rows. Now 4th row on the bottom, but I believe he's in 6th place, yeah. 6th car getting up there. Oh, almost got put in the middle of the 18 of Flashy McClashy. Thinking about making it 3 wide there, but decided against it.
51 goes from bottom to top. That was an interesting move.
Max Weissner is that kind of driver, though. He's going to be risky to try to gain some spots, and it paid off.
And
now he's getting under the 98 of Tim Gary.
And he has no teammates to worry about.
Yep. You see a lot of drivers hate having to worry about their teammates, as there's the 00, two independent cars. Maybe he did let in the 00 just because he's an independent.
And
but
the 7 also independent, the 1 independent, the
A lot of
92 up here is independent, the 13 is independent, the 6, 33, a lot of independent cars, but teammates now going at it, because this 59 takes the lead away from his teammate.
There's a lot of guys that really don't like the whole teammate rule. They like being on their own, working with whoever they want. But a lot of times you see team owners try to get their drivers to work together, and a lot of drivers don't like doing that. They like being on their own or trying to find their own friends to work with instead of just having to babysit their teammates.
You gotta be, and another topic of discussion, this 59 car, you gotta be wondering about his fatigue level, because right now it's about 1 to 2 a.m. or so in Germany, and Sam Blaney, obviously a German driver, you gotta be wondering how bad the jet lag was coming over to the States to run this race.
You gotta think he'd be tired, but I mean, at the same time, he's been here for over a week. You know, he's had time to do some great rest. We've had speed weeks. I think he'll be all right. Obviously, at this point, the adrenaline's kicking in. Your energy level is through the roof. You're just ready to run this race and try to win the Daytona 500. Here comes the 6, the unsponsored car.
Is not going to help. Pipestone Lazard doing what he needs to do, and he'll take the race lead 25 laps in.
How incredible would it be for the unsponsored car to win the Daytona 500? Obviously, he goes to the outside. The 18 of Flashy McClashy is going to jump below him, getting some help by last year's champion coaster enthusiast. He's going to lose that lead, but just imagine how great that would be for an unsponsored independent car to win this race.
And there's also another unsponsored car in this field. That would be the number 83 of Niall O'Hare, who we saw a lot of in practice earlier in this.
Inadvertently unsponsored. He should have a sponsor. We just haven't been.
Oh yeah, but the paint scheme obviously not there. But he's unsponsored for this race. But he's still mired in the pack. The 18 is your race leader for now. The defending champion is right behind him, and that's got to be a good partner. If you know that he knows how to win races and get things done, you might want him pushing you, because then one of two things: he can't win the race, and 2, you got a pretty good car pushing you.
Yeah, last season, if the 69 or well, he was a 54. Problems with that 18. Is he out of gas? Huge problems. He's in the wall. I think a tire went flat on that 18 car, right front, I believe. He just went right to the, something wrong with that 18 car. And big problems.
I think he's going to suffer the same fate as the 44.
I think a tire went down, because he never even got to the corner. He just turned dead right.
Let's take a look. Right on board with the 18. As he goes in a truck.
you wouldn't think that would affect the speed that much, but maybe he's just thinking slow it down to get out of the way of the pack. But yeah, that definitely looks like a blown right front tire.
That's going to be the end of the day for Flashy. Well, not the end of the day, but the end of a shot at winning this race. He's going to suffer the same fate as that 44 towing into pit road. And look who's back in the lead, champion Coaster Enthusiast.
As I was saying last year, if you didn't hear the name Coaster Enthusiast in the top 5, it was a miracle for the rest of these drivers. Coaster the whole season was incredibly consistent. He was always up front, and it paid off right at the end of the season. He ended up being your Season 1 Southwest NASCAR Sim Series champion.
And really, from pretty much the 8th race of the season onward, Coaster really, Coaster ran away with the championship.
Yes, absolutely. Pretty much, yeah. No one could catch him. Emily Winters was up there battling with him, but she had problems at Canadian Tire and a couple other racetracks that really held her back from being competitive with the, well, 54 at that time, but now the 69. Yeah, no one really had a shot at that title besides Coaster and Emily Winters for part of the season.
Well, and we're intercepting a transmission coming from the 15 to Ben Pierce to his team owner in the 5. Pierce saying that he might have put China tires, or tears rather, he said, on the 18 car. Maybe that's why the race car wasn't able, or why Flashy's found himself on pit road.
That wouldn't surprise me if before the race Ben Pye slashed that 18's tires just to give it enough of a cut where it would just go down at around lap 20 or lap 30.
Well, if that is indeed the case, NASCAR, I believe, would dock him. It would probably put him into the negatives here.
I believe that would be a good idea.
Now the 89 looking to take the lead away from his teammate. We've seen a lot of teammates in this race. The maximum amount of teammates is 4. And Aiden Smith has that amount of cars in his field. And for Black Cat Racing, his teammates are the 59 of Sam Blaney, the 69 of Coaster Enthusiast, and the 79 of Chip Ganassi, and that team has had a pretty good speed weeks. But it's D&P Racing's Adrian Add in the lead. As of right now, his teammates, obviously D&P_10 in the 8, Flashy McClashy in that 18, and then you have the 4 of Mua's Betters as well. So now you've got D&P Racing and Toyota drivers are wondering what kind of tires did we put on our cars.
We were talking about how Stash Motorsports was all to the back and how one car got wrecked out. Well, here's the 27 of previously mentioned Carter Boyd taking the lead away from Adrian Add, and his teammate, the 26, is just 3 rows behind him. And look at this, they are catching the 44 of David Fenton. They're going to catch him by the time this run ends.
Well, it's a long race. There was no surprise. There's no surprise that this field is catching that 44. The big question, though, is whether they catch him before green flag stops, or when they catch him, will he be able to keep up? Now,
yeah, that might be interesting to see. Yeah, once they catch him, he might just be able to block and stay on the lead lap, stay only 1 down in front of this pack.
And something else that we have to talk about this season is manufacturers. There are only 3 this year as opposed to 4. Last season, Dodge was involved, and they have since dipped out of the Southwest NASCAR Sim Series, leaving just Chevy, Ford, and Toyota. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Ford has, 14 drivers? And then 14... I'd have to count, but I think it's 14... Well, the quarters were supposed to be 14, 13, and 13, but I think it's a little more lopsided. But Ford definitely with a lot of presence here. I believe Ford has 4 different teams: Stash Motorsports, Builder Motorsports, Black Cat Racing, and Avery Motorsports. For a total of 16 cars. Plus a couple of independents.
As we talked about Fords, we see 2 up front. Like we said, the 27 of Carter Boyd, and now the 88 of Emily Winters. Who passed Ben Pierce earlier in the race with with help from another one of her teammates, Tim Gary, to take the lead. She dropped back a little bit, but there she is, getting pushed by the 8 of DNP, and trying to get by this 27. As here's the 44. Will he choose the block?
27 goes
get out
high.
of the way? Boyd
That might have been a
that he won't
smart
be able
decision. We'll see though.
The 8 comes low.
DNP
He does.
went low,
Oh, the 27
and that
block.
could be a good shot.
And here
DNP
comes
to the
DNP
bottom.
to the inside.
And both Fords ahead of him got caught up for a moment, but the 27 ducks back to the inside and retains the race lead, and now teammates behind him, DNP and Ad.
Emily Winters once again going to get absolutely trained here. Everyone's going to go by her on the inside. That's a shame for her. She'd made it all the way back up to the front, and now she's going to lose a bunch of ground and go back to the back again.
And how much longer can these cars stay on the racetrack? We've hit 37. Pit window is open now. We'll see when they decide to make that left-hand turn pit road.
We had one in the wall off of number 2 right there. I'm not sure who it was. Might have been the 69 coaster enthusiast.
DNP to the inside with help from Ad. I think everybody stays on the racetrack that time. Gotta wonder who's gonna be the first to wave his hand out the window and signal to the entire field that he's coming to pit road.
It's going to be hectic, though, because if it's someone that's running out of fuel right in the middle of the pack on the outside lane, that's going to be big trouble.
We're coming up to green flag stops. We've seen a lot of lead changes this race, which is going to be HG double hockey sticks for me doing points tonight, but...
Apparently, Avery Motorsports Command is telling the 88 car to wreck the 61, who's currently in dead freaking last. So, I don't know.
That is... Well, maybe that's why the 88's in the outside lane. She's turning it up to the end, to the rear of the field to get to that 61. Which is technically not in dead freaking last because that position is reserved for Light Yagami. And then just ahead of Yagami is 44 of Fenton, followed by the 18 of Flashy McClashy, who is back out onto the racetrack and only 4 laps down, so clearly they did something good for...
Oh, here come a bunch of cars to pit road. Do we have anyone wrecking?
Nope.
Doesn't look like
Everybody
it.
came in clean. It's Alexander McSpeed and a bunch of Chevys. We got Jacoby Kingston, actually a lot of Fords. Sam Blaney, Tim Gary, Chip Ganassi, Alexander Rossi, David Don on pit road, Parker, Niall O'Hare, and Matthew McCarthy, as well as Max Weisner, and it looks like fuel only for a lot of these guys.
What interests me is there's not many cars who came with their teammates down the pit road there. Obviously, if they're coming in this time, that means the 78 and 8 will be able to come in together. But besides that, there weren't too many teammates. As you can see, the 56 and Go For pulls in, and DNP comes in. There's a couple of Builder Motorsports cars coming in. Oh, we got one spinning. Problems behind them. Brandon Delpino runs over Andy. He runs over Andy Cooley. Absolutely ran him over. That's what I was talking about earlier in the race.
That's going to destroy the day of the 10. But does that bring out a caution flag?
That is a blessing to those cars who stayed on the racetrack if it brought out a caution, but I'm not sure it did because it was technically off the racetrack.
I don't see the yellow light. I don't see the yellow caution lights on.
I don't either.
I think this race is still green. And obviously we got more drivers peeling off, but that's going to be the end of the day likely for the 10.
Del Pino just didn't get slowed down enough and absolutely ran over the one.
Contact again. The 60 runs over Payson Avery.
No one spun out that time, but Payson has major rear end damage
and major front damage for the 60.
For the 60, yeah. My goodness. None of these
this
guys are working
is
together. Oh!
Contact again. Brian
Anders.
As the 5, I believe, coming. Well, the 5 was inside of him, and Anders trying to get to his pit box, and Avery was there. We'll have to wait and see where everything cycles out after this round of green flag stops. Ad came in all by himself, and that's not going to be fun.
No. The nearest car behind him was almost 3.5 seconds behind him. And there he is. There's the 26 of Matthew Nile. Besides that, they're 12 seconds back. The 88 of Emily Winters, who's pitting this time.
Ad scored as the race leader right now.
That will change momentarily.
And yeah, that will change as the field comes back around.
We'll just have to watch for cars that are passing him. The 18, he was 4 laps
78
down.
Is actually...
He's
going to get back out on the racetrack before the field got to the start-finish line.
He might maintain the lead. He might have a pretty big lead, which probably isn't very good for a track.
Well, yeah, no, it's not going to be very good if he maintains this lead. 7 seconds was the lead over the 26 when he came to pit road, but Cody Goforth is going to have the lead.
And a pretty sizable one at that.
And Ad's going to lose a lot of spots. He came in from the lead, and he was the leader before he came. He was battling for the lead before this cycle of green flag stops started. Look at how far back he's going to go. That's gonna go. He's gonna go all the way back to about 7th, and he's not even in the lead pack.
So now the race has come down to the 56 of Goforth, who has about a second lead over the 7 of Jimmy Johnson, 38 of Jacoby Kingston, the 8 of DNP, and the 27 of Carter Boyd. And then it's about another second to the second pack, which holds the 88 of Emily Winters, the 12 of Parker. It's like the 27 of Carlos Tavares, 78 of Ad.
22 of Carlos Tavares.
Sorry, the 22 of Carlos Tavares, 89 of Aiden Smith. There's a lap down car, the 44 of Damon Fenton, 00 of Alexander McSpeed. Is that James Youngman also with them, the 45? Yeah.
And that's the spotter's nightmare right there.
Yep.
Both of
Got
those
them right
cars
though.
are
We got
car
them
shield.
right. And then behind them, about another second back, there's another group of 3 or 4 cars. So Matthew McCarthy, a couple seconds behind them is a big pack. Everyone's all strung out now.
Well,
another pack behind them.
It actually looks like that 5 team did a pretty good job of repairing that car quickly and efficiently on pit road. He's looking like he's still able to keep up with the rest of that pack he's in. But that you definitely won't be able to say the same thing about that one car with that destroyed rear end, or this 10. Now, actually, what's interesting, well, the cars with big damage are this 10 car and well the 60 who doesn't even have a front end, and that's really gonna affect them because that's likely also to include engine damage with it being on the front side, whereas really the back end is only aero.
It actually helped not having that bumper cover on. It'll help the aerodynamics, or it'll help the grip level on that car, but I mean, obviously Daytona grip level isn't a big thing, but, you know.
Well, drop and aerodynamics is huge here, though.
Yeah, it can be.
Especially front end.
Because you get, yeah. But the rear end, no one can push you, that's the thing. Might be worse having rear end damage.
And we got another car on pit road. That's the 44, and that is a scheduled stop for him. Just he's 6 laps down, and obviously coming in to get some fresh Goodyear Eagles and might as well, just because you come in a couple laps down, you're not going to have a shot at winning it anyway. Might as well go for comfort.
It looks like that second group has caught the 56 and go fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. The 8
Well,
DMP right on his bumper. That's
well,
just a line of
just
cars.
behind them, Ads Group has basically caught them. So we got a pretty big first pack. And oh, by the way, one more stop before the end of this thing. That will come probably around 70 to 75.
This might break up the pack a little bit more. The 44 Fenton, yep, he holds up a lot of the pack. Looks like only 4 cars got around him. Big problems for that group, but there's the 60 Pimentel. He didn't really hold that out. He might hold up Jacoby Kingston for.
Well, look, Kingston's going to drop to the inside behind there. So that's going to leave this lead pack pretty much intact. But we won't be able to say the same thing about the second group.
Pimentel's blocking them too. Oh, the 44 looked high. Not going to get by though.
44 has speed, he just doesn't have the back status.
Yeah, no, he's what, 4 laps down, so, or 7 laps down.
Well, 7 now.
Yeah, 7. We got another car lap down. Is that the 60th? Oh, it'll be the 60th.
Yeah, the 60. And they're going to be catching the 10 at some point here as well.
El Pino probably still has a little bit of speed, but just obviously not race-winning speed, I wouldn't think. If we get a caution, I don't think we'll see that 10 car up there contending.
Well, and there's the 18 who also has speed. And he's going to be caught here. And that'll be good for DNP because that means he'll have another teammate to work with. And Ad's not that far behind, so that would be a grand total of 2 teammates to work with. Most out of anybody right now.
Look at the 60 is done. Look at the 60 is done to the pack behind them. They've lost it. Look at that. They're so far behind just because of that 60 Pimentel. He's complete, and now he's blocking the look. He's just blocking the pack.
That's one of the top cars here at Daytona.
If he was leading, he'd probably win this race. He's pretty good at blocking, but when you're going 140 miles an hour, you don't want to be blocking. You might get run over here. Maybe expect a caution here soon because I don't think the patience is going to keep up. 38 of Jacoby Kingston has caught that first group.
And he's stringing this entire group out single file. And he's splitting them up every time he goes to the bottom. That's the more the pack gets spread out here at Daytona, though, the less likely there is to be caution flag. And it's already pretty rare for caution.
Yeah.
Just past the halfway point at Daytona. Flashy McClashy holds up this lead group of cars. But obviously now back up to speed because they were behind him. He's got the ability to keep speed.
Looks like Adrian Add, James Youngman, and Damon Fenton might actually catch up to this lead pack here.
Well, we'll see. Look, there's a lot car ahead. If he holds them up just enough, he might just do the trick.
Well, he's going to go high. He's going to hold up the 7 of Jimmy Johnson, though.
Both DMP racing cars get past pretty clean.
Flashy still has speed. He just had a tire go down. He hit the wall a little bit.
Flashy McClashy right now is DMP's best friend because it means that he can be inside the draft and push a car ahead of him and, save fuel maybe? All while still being the race leader.
But at the same time, with Flashy there, DMP's getting the draft. That means everyone else behind DMP's getting the draft, and they might be saving even more fuel than that 8 is. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see when they
The 8 has the ability.
Oh, almost tried to get onto that 18. Maybe he's thinking he's slowing them down. Maybe that 38's catching him more than that 8 would like.
But right now, I think he's content to work with his teammate, and he's got another teammate that has just joined the battle. and that's 78, and now that will be for position. Oh, and the 38 dropped to the inside. He's gonna take the lead, and DNP goes all the way to the back. It's interesting, this field has not really wanted to pass the 18. I mean, I don't see why they would want to pass him, but...
Sorry, I was in full screen.
But we're talking about how Ben decided to buy more car parts from China.
Jason, do you have any more on that?
Well, I told Ben, so I had this international developer deal going. Well, I told Ben to call them. He called this other company instead. I'm looking at the chat again just so I can see the name of said company.
He said Rump Motor Company.
Yeah, Rump Motor Company. I don't know who that is.
So what you're saying is the guy who basically made the 18's right front tire go flat also bought illegal car parts, and it's now harming your own team?
At least the parts I was gonna buy were legal.
Maybe that's why Avery Motorsports hasn't won a race yet this Speed Weeks.
Yeah, we have.
Oh wait, they do,
have
but
Tim
that
Gary.
doesn't really count.
But don't count.
I mean, think about it. If you had any good cars still in this race, they'd be this lead pack.
The 88's an 8th, but...
has... What?
The 88 is an 8th.
Yeah, well, she's not in the lead pack.
She's leading the pack that's barely behind them.
Oh boy. There's another car just ahead of them that they're gonna catch, and that's gonna be an absolute nightmare.
That might help the 88 and that other group catch up.
Currently dying.
No, look at this car who's lost the draft.
Yeah, he lost it before pit stops.
Ha!
Well, McElmoyle obviously not damaged.
It's okay. He's never been a Daytona fan anyway. He's waiting for Chicagoland.
Well, and Chicagoland was where he won last season.
That's why he's waiting for it. Never been a plate racer.
Here's the 5 of Payson Avery, who's able, like I said earlier, to keep up with the other cars, but as you can see, there is a little bit of a crack open with the rear deck lid, and that's just from getting run over like by the 60 of Racing Pimentel coming to pit road.
So apparently, a word from Ben Pierce is that, and from Jimmy Johnson, is that apparently Jimmy Johnson gave Ben Pierce the contact for the place that he gets his parts.
Well, see, Jimmy's in 6th, doing better than the rest of your team, so I don't know if that's true or not.
I blame the mechanic.
Well, most of Avery Motorsports is currently...
What did you do?
Most of Avery Motorsports is sitting in this second group of cars led by the 25 of David Don, and then the 98 is all the way back here.
I'd like to know what
Currently
Ben
scored
did.
in 21st.
Last I checked, I sent the mechanics home, and I didn't touch the cars after last night. I didn't change the setup.
Well, there may have been sabotage too. We saw it with the 20. We might have seen it with the 28.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check the security cameras later.
Security cameras of the Daytona garage. Yeah, they're gonna give you that.
I mean, it could have been in the shop. You never know.
There will be an investigation after this race, and we'll see if there's anything that NASCAR finds. They'll probably let you know before the start of the next race, though.
Ben Pierce suspended.
I'll be back.
You see the 38, Jacoby Kingston diving to the bottom of DNP 10, and he's going to take the lead off of turn number 4 here at Daytona. And the previously mentioned 7 of Jimmy Johnson, he looks like he's going to help his Toyota manufacturing partner, and he's going to cross over by DNP. He had to help from the 7. He had to help, but now the 7's going with the 38. You'd think
It's
he'd
gonna
stick
leave
with
him
his
side by
manufacturing
side, but the
partner.
Seven trying to
Seven
get back
couldn't
down
get there.
and that's gonna string the well, that side drafted the 45, and the 8's gonna
James
have the
Youngman.
lead.
James Youngman, who started basically last with his partner Carlos Tavares, is left the 22 in the dust, but here comes the 38 of
There
Jacoby
goes
Kingston
Jacoby
once
Kingston
again.
again.
And the 7 doesn't want to make that same mistake. He's going to drop to the bottom, and he's going to push the 38 car to the lead here from Daytona. And now DMP won't have a chance of using the crossover because he's got a car to the inside. But Jimmy Johnson may be looking for the lead of the tri-oval, as he's now inside of that 38. And we might have a new leader going into turn number 1.
That was 300ths of a second separating first from second that time out of the start-finish line. And oh, by the way, look what it is. 3 wide.
Got 3 wide, the 78. Oh man, the 38 really went up the hill there. Him and DMP did a good job saving that thing, but I don't know if the 78's going to have enough of a run off of turn number 2.
78 doesn't have anybody to work with him either.
Yeah, he
He's
did
got
not
the
get a good
inside
run.
lane.
Now he's got his teammate in Flashy McClashy to work with him, but now the 8's strung out all by himself on the outside.
.63 of 100. 62 complete, and lap traffic ahead.
And you got the 60 and the 61 together. 60 is multiple
they're
laps
number
down.
neighbors.
Yeah, the 61's about to go his first lap down. Like we said earlier in practice, he was struggling, and that's very apparent as he's clearly lost the draft, very far behind. He's about to go a lap down. Did not have a good pit stop, and really hasn't had a good car all day. He's been, when the pack was still together, he was at the very back of the pack, but now he's about to go a lap down. He might actually be able to stay with this group, though. He does have speed.
That 8 just got absolutely screwed, so did the 56 of Goforth.
Their pole's stuck behind very damaged lap cars.
And they're going to fall all the way to the clutches of the second group.
Yeah, don't sleep on that second group yet. They were 4.5 seconds behind them, and now they're only 3.5. They've gained a second in the last 10 laps or so, so you might see them get up there.
They've also, but they've also got to deal with it 60 car first. And he's going to block the inside.
Have I missed anything interesting?
Nothing besides the fact that the second group is going to lose tons of time because this lap car is kind of blocking them, so it's fun.
Ew.
And they're hesitant to get to the inside, now they do.
We just got word from the 7 saying that we need to find Ben Pye. He removed his seatbelt before the race and had to reinstall it during that pit stop. Well, it worked out for him. 7's currently leading the race. Maybe that's all he needed was another seatbelt.
Maybe, or maybe the 7 didn't need a seatbelt and is just trying to make up a story so NASCAR will penalize the 15.
Hey, you'd think it would help him because, well, that's just less weight in the car, although it's a couple pounds. A couple pounds means a lot in these 1,000-pound stock cars, so you never know.
7-year race leader, 38 in P2.
What, 34 laps now?
35 to go. Here at Daytona.
See, the funny thing about this group is it's basically half of it is lap cars. The 18's a lap car, the 61 and the 44, they're all one or more laps down.
And that's a 7-car group.
Yeah. Oh, pretty much half of it is a lap down. And you see that second group's completely got strung out. They fall into a third. Look at that, the 25. He was leading that second group, now he's fallen to the third group, and now he's on the outside still stuck behind the 60.
Cole.
What?
Could you imagine having a caution right now?
Caution
That would be incredible.
Caution would be lovely right about now.
Ben Pye says he removed the seatbelt entirely. That comes from him. So maybe that 7's just flying because he's got less weight in the vehicle. I wouldn't complain about that. You're living on the edge along with you leading the Daytona 500, so don't worry about that, Jimmy. Just keep racing. James, just to inform you, there was not a big wreck at the beginning of this race. Just a recap for everyone. Before we even took the green flag, the 28 of Light Yagami blew up. This was as soon as we came out of pit road, the 28 car blew up. And then on lap 2, the 44 had problems. It seemed like he had a tire go down, so he was incredibly slow.
Replace his parts too.
Now he's multiple laps down. And then the 18 had a right front go flat, so he had to pit. He's multiple laps down. And then coming into pit road, the one of Andy Cooley got absolutely run over by the 10 of Brandon Delpino. So both of them have major damage, along with the 5 of Payson Avery got run over by the 60 of Grayson Pimentel. And now both of them have pretty significant damage. The 5 remains on the late lap. The 60 of Pimentel is multiple laps down. Yeah, the 5's able to keep up.
I don't think that damage is really affecting that 5 car.
No, there wasn't much there. There was when they were coming in, but when he got it all fixed, he was fine.
He just needs a caution to get back up with the rest of the field. Because that's the only thing that's keeping him from having a shot at winning this thing is he's not in the main pack.
Yeah, we probably could have had a caution. When the one car got run over, he did spin out. That's why you see those tire marks. As we have a new leader, you can see is that the 45 of James Youngman coming into the tri-oval with the lead. See the skid marks there. That's sort of from the one car spinning. There was no caution when the 10.
1/100th of a second separated first and second. That time of the start-finish line. We could see a close finish to this race. We could also see what we saw on Friday with the duels. 2 very boring finishes, but either way, this race is going to have an interesting end. Oh, by the way, pit stops are coming up. And do you think these drivers are all going to pit as one? Are all the drivers in these packs going to pit together? Or do you think they're just going to be idiots and come in by themselves?
Well, I think that question just got answered for you. Is the 18's pitting? Obviously, he was off cycle, though, because he blew that tire earlier on. But honestly, I do think that it would be obviously smart for them to come in together. But there's no way. I don't think the 78 and the 45 are going to be on the same strategy. I think they're all going to come in apart and just try to get ahead of one another and hope to stay ahead of everyone else.
So Flash is on pit road. And that's going to be a gas-only stop. And surprising seeing that the 18 already had a tire issue this race.
Yeah, you'd think they'd be careful and change that tire, but I guess they figure it's okay. There's the 20 of Kevin Bessard. He hasn't had problems. He must have lost the draft this past pit cycle, but here he goes. He's going to be a lap down. He might be able to stay ahead of this group and maybe keep his lap until they all pit. Just hope he gets out in front of these guys.
The 78 of Adrian Add, the race leader for the time being. 72 of 100.
If we have a caution right now, like say someone runs over someone and there's a big wreck coming into pit road, that would absolutely change everything. These lap cars, if I was Cole McElmoyle right now, he's only 1 lap down, or even the 20 of Kevin Bassard, I would take that chance. There's the 18 of Flashy McClatchy. He's going to rejoin this group once they catch him. But if I was them, I would 100% stay out until everyone has already come in. Because if a caution comes out, and the leaders had already pitted, you're going to be back on that lead lap. And you might even be in the lead. Obviously, you'll have to pit. But, I mean, you'll still only be at the back of the pack. And the 20 and the 61 don't have damage. They just lost the draft this past pit cycle. That might be a really good move for both of them to stay out. I mean, at this point, they got nothing to lose. They're both a lap down. They have no chance of winning this race.
But you know who does have a shot at winning this thing? 2 Furniture Road cars up here at the front. One of them...
Not teammates, but,
well, they're not teammates, but they are both Furniture Road cars, one of which is affiliated with D&P Racing, and the other is just by himself. But maybe they're working together.
And as soon as you say that, the 7 drops to the bottom of the 78. The 61's going to give him a little bum draft. And the 7's going to take the lead off of turn number 2 from Adrian Add.
And down the back stretch they go. It's been a long race, but green flag pit stops upcoming. And
Did the 8 of DNP already pit? Because he was up in this group.
The 8 got caught up behind the 60.
Oh, right.
So
right.
he's actually been relegated to the second pack, which has caught him and Cody Goforth as well as Andy Cooley. And Andy Cooley has subsequently fallen off of that
Parker pit road. Parker just pitted.
And so
along with
Kingston.
Jacoby Kingston, yeah. He was in the lead
Green
pack.
flag stops. Goes
69, last year's champion.
And Alexander Rossi.
Rossi.
We'll see who else decides to make the left turn to pit road. Out of lap cars, looks like no one's coming in, but from the lead. Looks like this 45 is going to be coming to pit road, and he's going to be by himself.
That's bad news. Oh, he's got some cars behind him. The 8, the 15, and the 56 are all pitting together. All 4 of those drivers are on different teams. Got Stash Motorsports, Avery Motorsports, Builder Motorsports, and DMP Racing.
4 drivers, though.
2 Fords, a Chevy, and a Toyota there. Oh, no, sorry.
Niall O'Hare coming in, and he narrowly missed the 45. Avery on pit road.
Avery.
We've yet to see a major pack come to pit road together. So we've yet to see an opportunity where we could have a wreck.
Here comes the 7. He'll be pitting. No one coming with him. Uh-oh. Maybe those lap cars are staying out as long as they possibly can. There's Emily Winters. Pipestone. No, he thought about it. Didn't. Oh, the 26 coming to pit road.
26 is in.
No one's coming in together. Besides those 3 cars, there's the 3.
Well, the 3's got a friend in David Ton. Other than that, it's really just one car peeling off coming to pit road.
Yeah, no one's really coming together. It's kind of disappointing. It'll be Kingston got to go a lap down with 78 of Adrian Ad. And no one around that 78 car is battling him for position. If you look on our ticker in the top left. Oh man, the 60 nearly just got contact with the 78.
Wide.
But if you look in the ticker, the 78 is actually 5 seconds ahead of that 6 car, Pipestone Lazard. Pipestone's pretty far behind. He's in the next group. You see the blue car in the big group back there. Now almost 5.5 seconds. And that's our second place car right there. Second, third, 59 is 4th, and then the 54.
And none of this pack has pitted yet.
No. They might be coming together as they narrowly avoid Cody Goforth. He's the lap car. He just came in to the service of pit road. So
a little bit of chaos here, but that's okay.
There's our favorite paint scheme, the 19 Pepe the Frog car.
Well, that's your favorite paint scheme.
Well, that's everyone's favorite
paint
scheme.
There
Come on.
comes Tim Gary to pit road.
Come on, if you don't love Pepe the Frog, you're lying to yourself.
Okay. Excuse me, it's Kermit the Frog.
It's Pepe.
Kermit.
It's Pepe.
Kermit.
There's no Kermit the Frog paint scheme, so it's Pepe the Frog.
I will make a Kermit the Frog paint scheme.
Well, have fun.
Pepe's already won in our test race. Pepe has won a Talladega test race, so he's number 1 in ours. Okay.
You know what? What if I make an Elmo paint scheme? Then when you put it in?
We won't allow that. That was a
Elmo's
61. Yep, 61. Nope,
Okay.
I thought the 61 was coming. He's
What
not.
about a Big Bird paint scheme?
Actually, the actor of Big Bird just died today, actually.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I saw that on Instagram earlier.
Interesting
Same day.
patch with Builder.
Yep. Juice WRLD Big Bird died on the same day.
I'm making a Big Bird scheme.
And John Lennon, he died on December the 8th, but that was a long time ago.
Tribute to Big Bird.
These 3 going to go 3 wide? 7, although he came to the service of pit road. They are going 3 wide.
And the 78's is still leading this race by 4 seconds, but that difference is closing. You gotta wonder how much longer Ad's gonna stay on the racetrack.
Builder, just watch that be my championship scheme. Just Elmo. Not Elmo, Big Bird.
If the championship race will ever happen, because no one can make the race.
79 was just on pit road.
I would have been able
saw
to
a
make
couple
it.
of cars coming to pit road. 54 is
Actually, Builder, I actually could have made
in.
it on
0 is
Wednesday.
in. 1395.
Because, well, actually, technically, no, I couldn't have because I ended up going to the hospital. I am getting better, though, so you can say
Here
that.
goes Builder.
Now 61's peeling to pit road. He's going to be
92
coming
is
with the
gonna be in
92
as
of
well.
Esco
The
Lockett.
10 is in.
Excuse me, get it right. His name is Cole McElmoyle.
There's the 21. There's the
Good one.
19. Now
Pepe.
we're start seeing some more stops. The 59 on pit road. 24, 51, 27. But they're all too strung out to wreck.
Kermit would win in a fight.
Oh my god, shut up. 78 still has to pit. I believe the 44 is going to have to come in at some point. Yeah, shut up. You don't sound like him at all.
That's Yoda.
That was terrible.
That was Yoda.
That's a different... Oh, here comes the 20 Bassard. He's
Oh.
feeling in. Now no one's coming in together, so here comes Pipestone.
My child, I must have.
Stop. You're
Shut
bad.
What if you watched The Mandalorian or something?
Oh.
Possibly. I
Are you
haven't seen
baby?
episode 5 yet, so no spoilers.
Shut up, I'm only on episode 2, okay?
Wait, wait, you're
I haven't
watching
even started The
now?
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yes, Builder, yes!
Wait,
On
what?
the second
He's
episode.
watching Mandalorian.
I need to start watching it.
There's the 92 and the 61. They came out completely separate. They're not even
Who has
close to one
watched
another.
all Star Wars movies so far?
That's 78. Does he think he's going to be able to make it? No, never mind. As soon as I say that.
Oh, there comes the 78 to pit road.
Womp womp.
And then it's the 22, and then I believe the 4 is pitted. So will the 4 be able to catch?
If the 4 wins another race, I'm gonna
I know
cry.
the 6. I know the 6 has pitted. The 6 just came to pit road a couple laps ago. Will the 78? Is it just gas and go for the 78 car?
I would assume so.
Candelora might have a problem here. Maybe not. No, he looks alright. He just peeled to the left there, so I thought 33 might have had a problem, but
I think
Seems
that's
to be doing
just
okay.
him getting off pit road.
yeah, maybe. Gotta look where that 4 car is, and has he pitted? We need to find the 4 of Muse better.
I've already gone through the entirety of the field and I didn't find him.
Huh.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is. He just came to
pitted
pit road.
now.
And there's Pipestone. Where is Adrian Ad? He's definitely off the pit road at this point.
Well, he's up ahead, I think.
Yeah, and there's the 6 of Pipestone Lazard.
Oh, yeah,
And
there
there's
he
the
is.
78 of Adrian Ad. Adrian Ad will probably win this race. Will win this race.
Well, don't count anybody else out just yet.
Pipestone's
it's a
coming
pretty-
fast.
it's
He's
a
in that group
pretty-
that's just behind him.
It's a pretty big lead.
Not over till the fat man sings.
Oh, no, never mind. He's a couple groups back. We're going to have to find the 6 car.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna regret saying that.
There he is.
People in the chat are
Yeah,
probably.
but
38. Kobe Kingston.
the 7 now back on the 7 back on the lead lap, and so is the 38. So that's gonna be some work for. Well, they'll have a shot at it. And they're really
And here comes the
two
92 to the
closest
bottom with
drivers.
Kevin Bassard. Kevin's going to give him a push. And they're
No,
going to have
it's
a run.
not.
Maybe
3
not.
wide.
That's going to be big problems for the 78. Here comes the 38. Jacoby Kingston's going to get to the bottom.
It's
and
not
he's going
over
to take the
till
lead.
Jimmy Rex. We hear over the 7's radio.
Oh,
There
oh,
comes the
44's on the pit road.
No, it's
I
not
completely
over till the
forgot.
fat man sings. And the fat man.
I did not realize that the 38 and 7 were back on the lead lap. Here comes the 61 at the bottom of the 78, and that's going to help Jimmy
Lap
Johnson
cars
get
go
to
on
second.
this group of cars, but they're battling for the. They've also got 2
Yep.
lead lappers battling for the win here, and Ad, who had been leading for so long there, has just fallen to 3rd.
Jacoby Kingston coming low on the 18 of Flashy McClashy. That might help the 7 because the 61 is going to get the draft off of that 38. And it's going to help Jimmy get a run. He's finally cleared the 38, but now he's on the inside of Esco Lockinen.
And just one car in between the 7 and the race leader right now. And that is Cole McElroy, who's sitting in the middle of a fiery relationship, if you want to call it that.
As he's gotten out of the way, well, maybe not. Oh,
There's
he's clear
just
of the
no
7.
hope. Everybody's in the outside lane.
Yeah. As he's going to dive low on Passard, so that's still going to help the 7 of Johnson. He's just got to get up there and get past that 20 car so the 20 isn't clear. Let's see. Dives low. That 61 and 38 are still going to be clear, but the 7's gotten by the 20. 13 to go, everyone. 13 to go. Left in the Daytona
Lap
5.
traffic ahead.
That's Damon Fenn. He's up, though.
Yeah, but when they catch him, it'll hold him up just a little bit.
That is true.
Possibly give off some draft for the second group of cars, starting with that 88 of Emily Winters.
Here comes the 7 to the inside of the 61. I just saw him peek out, yep. And he's going to get to the inside of that
That's just got forced
blue,
pretty
green,
wide.
white
That's
car.
not middle.
Now the leaders are 1-2 in the inside lane. The 78 of Ads kind of getting left behind. He's stuck behind a couple lap cars and on the outside.
And back in this second pack, this group of cars right here has a lot of cars battling for position, including but not limited to the 88, 19, 45, 6, 56, 21, and 12, as well as the 15. I think, well, not the 50,
those cars are on the lead lap.
54, but the 8 is there as well. If
I know the
something were to
54 is.
happen that causes the leaders to get held up, that puts that second group of cars in a very good position to catch the front half.
Oh, here comes Flashy. What a big block by Jimmy. He might have just saved his Daytona 500 with that move right there. What a block by the 7 car. Oh, here goes the 54, or not the 54, 92 on the bottom. Easily blocked by the 7.
Problem early for the 18, that's why he's not on the lead lap. The 92, 20, and 61 off the lead lap because of pit cycle woes. And this 44 had something go down lap 2 that took him out of contention. And that's why we're where we are right now with all these cars in this front group.
You do have to agree, though, that this has actually been a really good race.
It's been a good race. It's just, there's been a lot of lap cars up with the leaders, and there hasn't been much of the leaders battling since the first pit cycle, so it's been basically just 2 or 3 cars up here. It hasn't been any minus the 2 pit road implications we had. We've only had 1 car spin and no cautions in this Daytona 500.
Well,
I mean,
Jimmy just dropped all the way to the back, but he's still got plenty of time. 10 laps to go, and it'll be 9 when we cross the start-finish line. And oh, by the way,
Here's the 60.
There's a slow lappy boy gonna be holding these boys up.
Racing
Nah, they'll get
Pimentel
by.
always holds up fields, and there he goes. He's holding them up again. He goes from the bottom to the top. He just keeps blocking, and the bottom's gonna get by him here. It's not gonna hold him up enough. And all 3 drivers that are going for the win made it by unscathed.
Not yet, the 7.
Not yet. Actually, the 7's gonna get side drafted. And here comes the second
Be able
group.
to get by. But look at this.
Here
The
they
number
come.
15 car, Ben Pierce,
9
takes
to go.
place.
That lead pack might have gotten held up just enough. Either that or just the 61 and the 92.
Winterwolf is coming, and he's got reinforcements behind him.
Now, what number is Winter now?
21.
That right there is Whitmore.
I am not used to seeing him.
He's gonna catch that 60 in an awkward place. He goes up to try and get around.
Oh,
Now he
he got
drops to the
by him.
bottom, and
Not
DP's
quite.
gonna get absolutely screwed here.
They're
It's
there.
going
That
free
pack is
ride.
there. They've gotten by the 60. They will not get affected by the 60
track
car.
already.
And now they're catching that lead
the
group.
88!
I believe now if we have a caution, it's the point and overturn.
Oh, poor Go For It. No, there's still 7 laps. I think it gets down to 5 or 4.
Is when that point of no return hits.
Oh, Go For It just got screwed. But here comes that second group, and they've caught up quite a bit. I don't know if they're going to get there, though.
Well, they have the draft off the 44, and because they have a lot of cars in that group, it's going to push, when they get these 3 cars here, it's going to push them up towards the leaders. They may not catch them,
Pretty
but
wide.
at least have more cars than the lead group. And the
That was
78's your race leader.
They might get there. They got 7 laps to do it.
6 to go.
Oh, 6 laps to do it.
Upper Whopper, for those of you who don't know, Jimmy
Upper Whopper
is Winter Wolf in the 21.
I like how you just said his YouTube. I also like how I've been looking at YouTube this whole time instead of Discord.
Real wide now, towards the back. 2 of those are for position.
Man,
Dives to the bottom. Here comes that pack. They've caught them. They caught the
They're 2
61, 92, and
seconds
44.
But I think they're just a little too far behind.
Now, they couldn't quite get there as the 78 is controlling this little 5-car group. Are the 7 and 38 just waiting their time, biding their time, waiting to get up to?
He's had no.
Are they actually just
He's had
struggling?
no challenge. This 78 has
There he
dominated the last half of this race. It would not surprise me if he has the most laps led.
Don't look fast, but here comes the 38, the inside of the 20, and right behind that 38 is none other than your 3rd place car, Jimmy Johnson. That other pack is right behind you. They got to be looking in the mirror, just praying they don't get there, because if that other pack gets there, oh man, that shakes everything up.
Well, they were 2 seconds
Got 4
back
laps.
from the leader. That time by the start-finish line, they're still scored. Well, actually, they
got 2
gained 2
tenths.
tenths. It's not going to be enough. And the lap
Will
cars
these
have
other
backed
2?
off.
I don't know if that'll last. I don't know if these 2 are actually biting for position. I don't think they are. But we'll see. They backed off a bit, but 30 to Kingston got a good run off of 2.
But this side-by-side battle is right now is helping the 78 a ton.
Absolutely. Oh, and the 18 going low on the 7's also helping him.
3 laps to go.
I just realized what happened to Ben Pierce. He was in 5th and then he just died.
Oh, just falling back. Yeah, just fall back.
Shuffled out.
They're right there. That group is right there.
They caught 3 tenths that time. Again, I think it's too little, too late. But if this race was extended, maybe another 10, 20 laps, the second group catches.
Here comes Jimmy. Jimmy's the inside of the race lead. 3 to
Down to the
go.
bottom. He's gonna take the race lead. Side
And here
by
comes the
side.
38 Kingston right below the 18.
Turn 3.
Think the 78's gonna be clear.
Be there on the outside.
The
Now
20's
it's
looking
3 cars
low.
on the bottom, 2 on the outside. Side draft for the 78.
Turn to go.
If Jimmy Johnson wins this race,
And my goodness, this
1.65.
second group is most definitely catching them.
Alexander McSpeed is in it. Will they be able to get there? They got a lap and a half.
He's in 4th right now.
Here comes the 38 Jacoby Kingston. Will the 7 be able to block that run? I think he will. He does.
Take 1 to go, sponsored by Brandon Del Pino.
oh,
Well, not really. Here they come off turn 4. White
Jacoby
flag is
Kingston,
in the
they're
air,
clear.
sponsored by Credit One Bank. 1 to go at Daytona.
what if I want to sponsor the last lap DNP?
You're not Credit One Bank.
You aren't sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Excuse
The
me,
7's
I
just
signed
got
up
a
for
block.
that for
This
them.
has to be
I
the
signed
best
up
lap
for
And
of
oh,
Jimmy
by
Johnson's
the way, look
life.
who's caught them.
Here comes
The
McSpeed.
0-0. Will he have a good run? I
Huge
don't
run
know
off the
that he's
32.
gonna get
He's
there.
not gonna get
He
there.
might get around
Will the
back.
38 step out? When will he step out? Can he even step
No,
out?
he won't. It's the 7 blocks.
Jimmy
Here they come
Johnson!
off turn 4.
38!
Jimmy
Does he have a
Johnson.
run?
No challenge.
No!
Here they come to the line. Jimmy Johnson, your Daytona 500 winner.
Your Daytona 500 what?
Winner! Jimmy Johnson!
Yay! Yay! Yay!
And a giant pack crosses the line together. It actually looked like the finish of a Daytona 500.
What a finish!
I like how Jimmy Johnson says he is yelling in the chat, "Do it for Dale."
Well,
Turn
we're
right.
to start the season, and we have another exciting race coming up next week, or this next week. We'll see, but Tuesday is going to be. Well, I don't know if we'll have a race this week necessarily, but the next race comes to you from the Atlanta Motor. Actually, not Atlanta, from Coca-Cola. And if you watched the Coca-Cola exhibition, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
I think we definitely got to
Yeah,
do one. As you
did
can see,
you
the
watch it?
61, his little bump to his teammate. I think we definitely got to have another one this week. I'd say we'd probably do it on Wednesday if there's no Roblox race for sure.
Builder, did you sense my anger there?
No.
I said, yeah, did you watch the exhibition race?
Oh yeah, because he got beat.
Ah, yes, Payson Avery and Sam Blaney. Well, Sam Blaney held up this 5 car on the last lap of that race, or coming to the white flag of that race, and then this 95 won it.
Yeah.
That will do it. Here's
Yeah,
the final
GG.
rundown of the finishing order. On leading at the end of the race was Jimmy Johnson in the 7 car. He wins the race. Jacoby Kingston P2, Ad P3. Alexander McSpeed finished 4th. Pipestone Lazard in 5th. Carlos Tavares 6th. Emily Winters 7th. James Youngman 8th. Winterwolf 9th. Joey Maddox 10th. Matthew McCarthy in 11th. Parker 12th. DNP _ 10 in 13th. Ben Pierce in 14th, Max Weisner 15th, Thomas Cassidy in 16th, 17th, Cody Goforth 18th, Coaster Enthusiast 19th, Tim Gary 20th, Matthew Nile 21st, Muse Better 22nd, it was Sam Blaney 23rd, Matt Wynn 24th, Brian Anders 25th, David Don 26th, Chip Ganassi 27th, Niall O'Hare 28th, Carter Boyd, and then 29th, Alexander Rossi, Payson Avery in 30th, Aiden Smith 31st, Nathan Orman 32nd, Kenneth Laura finishes 33rd, matching his number, Kevin Bassard finishes 34th, Cole McElmoyle in 35th, Esko Laukinen 36th, and then with damage, Andy Cooley in the 37, Brandon Del Pino 2 laps down in the 10, and in 38th, Flashy McClashy 4 laps down with a tire problem in 39th. Grayson Pimentel with damage 4 laps down in the 60, finishing 40th. Damian Fenton, issue early on, went 7 laps down, finishes 41st. And Light Yagami fails to start the race, and he is the only DNF.
I still finished ahead of Builder.
And that'll do it here from Daytona.
That's completely opposite to what would actually happen on Roblox.
Shut up.
I probably should have saved that replay, but you know what? I don't care.
Dummy.
It would have made points a little easier knowing I could just skip laps, but you know, whatever.
Dummy thick.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into this one. Next up is the exciting Coca-Cola race, the Coca-Cola 501 from Coca-Cola Super Speedway. Unrestricted action coming at you on Tuesday. Until then, I've been Dean P. Alongside me has been Cole McElmoyle and Payson Avery. We'd love to thank you for tuning in to the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. But until the next one, take care, everybody. We'll see you then.